The great thing about this, of course, is that we have time to relax a little bit more than with the shorter one. So in my the paint part of the palette, I've got 12 different wells for the paint, and 11 of those are filled. So I'll just sort of go through what I've got. Let's see, the main brushes are, this is just, I'm assuming it's goat hair, but it could be anything. Well, it couldn't be anything, but it's something like goat hair. It's just a soft, flat brush. Now, it's not a flat brush in the way that, this would be a flat brush with a very sort of chisel edge to it. This has really got quite a ragged edge, and it's just, I use that really purely for the first wash. Now, what we have, obviously, we have the bridge here. We have sky above, and we have essentially sky below. Now, by that, what I mean is that's a reflection of the sky. We have trees to the left, trees to the right, and very often I think people make the mistake, painters make the mistake of thinking, right, that's it, off we go. So I'm going to take the bridge. My first mark is going to be the bridge. Now, the bridge is going across the river, and it's going away from me slightly. So in other words, the left-hand side of the bridge is closer to me than the right-hand side of the bridge. So that means that there is a perspective involved. And the rule of perspective, to say if you're reading 300-word books in perspective, you really only need more or less this one sentence. But I didn't start painting until I was 30, 31, 32, something like that, which was only 2 or 3 years ago. Sorry. My argument is, if that's the right word, is that you don't think, well, oh, what's that? But you do think, what's that, because it's got the hard edges. You don't wonder what this is, because the soft edges mean that it isn't anything. For something to be something, it has to have a hard edge. If you think about it, our tree has to have a hard edge around the bark. Anything has to have a hard edge. A car, a person, anything at all. I'm going to vary it slightly, not a lot, but I'm going to just use those two colors, ultramarine and burnt sienna, and then I'll allow them to blend together. Now, in watercolor, playing with the watercolor is part of the fun. In fact, it's possibly all of the fun. But what happens is that sometimes it's so easy to overplay it or to overwork it. So by all means, try adding little things, but just add a little bit. You can see how that pink gets killed very easily. So it isn't gone. If I zoom in very slightly on that, just so that we get everything disappearing as it should. It hasn't disappeared, but it's just subdued. And when things get a little bit subdued, that's when it's generally more natural.